Welcome back to Max Reaction. How are you doing on this Sunday? It's Sunday for me. It may be almost Monday for you, I'm not sure. But we're going to react to a video called 34 Reasons to Date and Marry a Filipina Philippines Dating Tips. I'm kind of interested in this video because a lot of you know I'm married to a Filipina. Some of you may not have known that. Now you do know that. And in January will be our 5-year anniversary for being married. So it'll be a half a decade of being married to a Filipina. And I found my Filipina actually online. I really wasn't looking for a wife. I really wasn't looking for a relationship. We just kind of found each other. And we communicated a lot through calling, through texting, through video chatting. I mean, an absolute lot. And I ended up going to the Philippines, and we liked each other. We dug each other. We kept communicating. Eventually, you know, we ended up marrying. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Me and her together have had 2 beautiful children. Maybe I'll throw some pictures up now. I don't know if I can remember what I'm editing. But 34 reasons to date and marry Filipina. So let's see if we agree or disagree. I don't know. Let's do this.
I've been living here in the Philippines for 12 months in November. And in that time, one thing has stood out to me.
What?
I've heard more stories from expats in happy long-term stable relationships with a Filipina than I can poke a stick at. It's like a never-ending stream. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying even for a moment that I haven't heard some horror stories involving Filipinas.
Yeah, there's horror stories, but guess what? There's bad people in every single country there is in the earth. There's good people, there's bad people, there's good relationships, there's bad relationships. Plus, I'd have to say to the guy that's creating this video, you're only hearing one side of the story. So maybe it's a butthurt foreigner and maybe it was his fault. Or maybe it was a Filipina's fault. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know. We only get one side of the story a lot of times. And you need both the sides. And you need to be there to actually see what took place. So, I don't know. That's my view of that.
But I can honestly count them on the fingers of one hand. In this same period, I've heard from literally hundreds of guys in Thailand with soul-destroying tales about how they've been ripped off, betrayed, or abandoned. And so in this video, we're going to look at 34 reasons why guys from all over the world absolutely love dating or being married to a Filipina.
That's a lot of reasons.
Number 1. Filipinas are very kind-hearted.
I'll give you that.
It is as though they are hardwired towards kindness. It's also a very admired character trait in Philippines culture. Number 2. Filipinas are amazingly compassionate. A Filipina is way less likely to up and ditch a guy who might become unwell for any reason than, say, a Thai woman. There's a reason.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason, you know. I don't want to be ditched by my wife. I don't think she's going to ditch me. But I'm not an asshole to her. Guys, you can't be assholes to Filipinas or whoever you're dating. Let's not just push it one way or another. It takes 2 to have a relationship, and no relationship's ever going to be perfect. If somebody tells you they have a perfect relationship, they're lying to you. Plain and simple. You know, problems arise, disagreements arise, but it's how you get through it. How you get through it, and how you listen to each other and accept each other. That's the big thing. So let's keep going.
These Filipinas are renowned worldwide for being exceptional nurses.
Yeah.
Compassion runs deep
True.
here. Number 3. Filipinas are definitely nowhere near as money-hungry as Thai women. Disclaimer, before this triggers an apoplectic fit in some viewers, let me make it abundantly clear that there are good and bad people everywhere.
Yes. And I think he's talking about Thai people, you know. There's money-hungry people in every race. I see it here in America, definitely. I guarantee it's in Thailand. I guarantee it's in the Philippines. Luckily, my wife is not money-hungry. And I'm not either. I like experiences. I'd rather have experiences than a lot of money. That's my personal thing, though.
That said, I have heard more gut-wrenching, nightmare stories from guys who have lost their home or their life savings after being with a Thai woman than I can poke a stick at.
This guy likes to talk about poking sticks, and I'm not sure why. That's like 2 or 3 times he's already mentioned poking a stick.
But stop and think. There are no greedy sinsod demands in the Philippines. By and large, a Filipina just wants a decent guy who will love, respect, and be faithful to her.
That's me, but I'm taking.
I've spoken to so many subscribers to this channel over the last few years who have given away small fortunes in the sexist, outdated Thai custom of paying $1 million or more baht to greedy Thai in-laws so as to give them face and marry their daughter.
Yeah, that seems wrong. That seems really wrong. Now, if it's a gift that's not asked for and the guy just wants to do it, that's a whole different story. But a requirement? I don't like requirements, because requirements aren't just, they're not good because it's not from the heart, you know? Screw requirements.
Stop. Can you imagine how you would feel if a Western woman said, "I'll marry you, but only if you buy my folks a new home and buy my dad a new pickup truck"?
We call those people in the United States gold diggers.
You'd be outraged. So, please tell me, what's the difference when a Thai woman demands you do that? Number 4.
Zero difference.
Filipinas hold old-fashioned traditional values very close to their
I like
hearts.
that part. That is so
This
true.
point pretty much needs no explanation.
Yeah, I like that part.
Number 5. When you're with a Filipina, you are her world. In my own case, I get told and shown all the time. She tells me I'm appreciated, loved, and adored. I wish I had the words to explain how utterly amazing that feels.
And I agree. Mine does that to me. But what's more importantly, she shows me that to our children. I'd rather have her show that to my children that we've had than her show it to me nowadays, even though she shows it to all of us. Because if you can find a good wife, a loyal wife, and she's like the best mother to your children's, it don't get any better than that. It doesn't. And that's what my wife, Kathy, is to me and my kids.
But honestly, I'm completely lost for words. Number 6. Filipinas give you their very best. If a Filipina feels and knows that you are true and dating her with pure and clean intentions, you're going to be on the receiving end of more love and affection than you can possibly imagine.
And I'll take all of it.
7. Filipinas are kind and gentle. I get friends and subscribers asking me all the time what my Filipina fiancé is like.
I agree, they're kind and gentle, but don't cross them. Don't piss them off, because there's a little rage in there. You might get hit with a slipper. My wife's never hit me with a slipper, but I've seen others get hit with slippers, and I don't ever want to get hit with a slipper. So, kind and gentle, yes, but don't cross them, don't lie to them, don't be unfaithful to them. Listen to your Filipina. It don't have to be a Filipina. Listen to whoever you're with. Listen, communication is definitely key, and give and take. Sometimes you gotta give, sometimes you take, but there's a fine line to making it even, and if you can make that even in your relationship will go a long, long way. In my opinion, those are just my tips, my little nuggets of information that I've been through that I can throw at you. You may not know it, you may be young and not know it. I don't know, hopefully it can help. But let's keep on going with this video.
I always say the same thing. She's very sweet and gentle. In all the time we've been together, she hasn't even one time lost her temper or spoken so much as a single angry word.
I wouldn't say that's the norm though. My wife's never really said anything like an angry word to me, but there's gonna be times where people get upset. So I would have to tell this guy, it's gonna happen. If it isn't, then it's just weird to me.
8. Filipinas have the most positive mindset and outlook possible. They seem to have an inbuilt ability to always see the light at the end of the tunnel. 9.
Yes.
Filipinas are like walking, talking encouragement machines.
What?
Feeling down? Got problems? No matter how bad the situation is, odds are that your Filipina will simply refuse to admit defeat. And just keep telling you, don't worry baby. Everything's going to be okay.
Okay, my wife does say that quite often. I can get discouraged, I ain't gonna lie, I can get discouraged, I can get down, but it's awesome that you can be with somebody and you know you can lean on them when you need to lean on them and they can rise you up. That's what a good relationship does, both ways.
10. Filipinas want you to be happy 24/7, 365 days a year.
Well, yeah, everybody wants everybody to be happy 365 days a year. If you don't want that, then you're a miserable person.
Something you hear from Western guys all the time is, she seriously does everything she can to make me happy. 11. Your Filipina respects her family way more than you respect yours.
Yes, I respect my family, but it ain't just Filipinas, it's Filipinos, it's the guys and girls of the Philippines. It's just respecting your family in the Philippines is a whole new level for the most part from here in the United States. I can see a lot of people disrespecting their elders. Not cool, not good. But in the Philippines, there's just a whole nother level of respect, and it's awesome, you know. And I want even though at the moment we're living here in the United States, and one day we might move to the Philippines, I want them to learn that now. I want them to learn that culture of the Philippines, even though we're here in the United States, because it's something that all children should learn, young or old.
Trust me, their devotion towards and love for their family is everything. Number 12, Filipinas are great cooks and will feed you until you explode.
Yes! Yes,
seriously.
Yes.
Number 13.
I think I've exploded 1, 2, or maybe 10 times from that. And even when we go to the Philippines and like I meet family that I've never met, or I meet some of her friends that I've never met, they might say, hey, we prepared a little snack, and you go in there and the whole kitchen table is full of food. And you're like, snack? That's a feast! I definitely, and it's weird, when I go to the Philippines, I eat more, I think. But I end up losing weight. I think it's just a healthier food over in the Philippines. But yes, my wife can cook wonderful Filipino dishes, and she's learned American dishes as well. So I give that a hell yes. He's correct in that.
Filipinas have a great sense of humor.
Yeah,
I absolutely love watching comedy videos with my Filipina because she laughs so hard the laptop shakes.
Yes.
In fact, I've never been with anyone in my life who laughs as much as she does. Number 14, Filipinas come surgically attached to their cell phones.
Yes.
This is actually quite handy. Because if you want to find anything online, they probably know 573 and 1/2 different websites that you can order it from.
That's true, but you know, it's not a bad thing because my wife is here in the United States with me, you know, and has been the last 5 years, and that's the best, fastest way she can communicate with her family. So you know, that doesn't bother me. Like, she's got to keep in contact with her family as much as possible. I encourage it, but yeah, my wife probably knows more than 500 and whatever he said, 73 ways of shopping. It's probably 1,000 ways.
15.
Always looking for a deal.
Filipinas eat things that make strong men go weak at the knees. Stinky fish and balut spring to mind.
I actually have ate that. I was a little bit tipsy, a little bit drunk, and I ate one that looked like that. It was staring right at me, and I was like, I ate the whole dang thing. It tasted like chicken noodle soup. It looks freaking disgusting. You gotta drink the juice out first before you can get to that. But I ate the head, the bill, all of it. The yellow stuff. It's just gross. It does make me weak at the knees, but I accomplished it.
Number 16. Your Filipina wants to hold your hand all the time. Personally, I love...
Sometimes. It just depends where we're at, what we might be doing. We hold hands, not all the time though. And that's completely fine with me.
This to pieces. Number 17. Your Filipina is addicted to hugs. Warning.
My wife's not really addicted to hugs. Nah, not mine, but each to their own.
Get a serious case of hug withdrawal if you don't hug her at least every hour. I think this is one way a Filipina keeps her relationship alive. I've had guys here who've been married to a Filipina for 20 years tell me, Chris, she's just as sweet, loving, and affectionate as the day we married.
That's awesome.
Number 19 has to be rice. Filipinas eat rice with absolutely everything.
Yeah.
I swear my Filipina would eat absolutely anything if it came with rice.
That's for sure.
Strangely, this habit is now rubbing off on me. I even find myself asking her, baby, can I have some more rice, please? Number 20. Most Filipinas
I don't know
aren't-
if I do that. I don't know if I ask for more, but I will eat it with almost anything now. But I had a son before we met, and he's full American. My other two are, of course, half Filipino, half American. But my older son, he absolutely loves rice ever since my wife came into the picture. So she's definitely affected me and my older son, and that's not a bad thing, you know. Rice isn't too expensive, it fills you up, it tastes good. You can make it different ways, so you can even make rice desserts. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
after your money. She doesn't expect a lot.
I know my wife wasn't after my money because I didn't have much money, and I made that abundantly clear in the beginning. And yeah, it definitely wasn't about the money.
You hear it all the time. Filipinas are all gold diggers.
No,
Actually, most of them aren't. They just want a guy who will love, respect, and be 100% faithful to them. That's all they want.
it's me.
And dating a woman in the Philippines is 5 times cheaper than dating in Australia or the USA. Number 21. Filipinas really don't like the word divorce. They believe in happily ever after. But please don't think that makes them a pushover. Treat a Filipina wrong
Yes.
and you'll discover the truth behind the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Woo!
Number 22. Filipinas deserve your very best.
Absolutely.
Are you in a relationship?
Everybody deserves your very best, not just Filipinas, but especially if you're gonna marry a Filipina, you're dating a Filipina. Give them your very best, and they need to give you the same, because that's how you get through the bad parts of the relationship when disaster may arise. You know, always give your very best.
Relationship with a Filipina? Is she loving you with all her heart? Then, for goodness sakes, treat her right. Because there's plenty more fish in the sea. And if you lose her, she can easily find a guy who will treat her right, and then she's never coming back to you. Number 23.
Ooh.
Her biggest dream in life is to get married to you and live happily ever after. Can
I don't know
I
if that's the biggest dream of her life, but we did it. We did it. And it's, like I said, it's about to be 5 years strong. Hopefully many decades to come. That's what I want. And I do believe that's what my Filipina wants.
let you in on a secret? After having my heart broken in Thailand, I swore I'd never get married again. And then I met the sweetest, kindest, most compassionate, funny, loving, giving, and adorable lady in the world. And now her dream is mine. We
Yes.
talk all the time about our future. And literally every minute of every single day, I'm filled with gratitude that she's in my life and wants to spend the rest of hers with me.
It's an awesome feeling.
Number 24. Filipinas are great moms.
Yes.
My lady has a
1,000,000,000% great mom.
12-year-old kid. He is so polite and respectful all the time. I tell her all the time, honey, he's this way because you're such a great mom.
Absolutely.
Filipinas raise their kids to be polite and respectful.
Absolutely.
And that brings me to my next.
Absolutely. We recently was just at a Halloween party, and my two-year-old, you've seen him in some videos, named Hunter. He was walking around there was a lot of people at the Halloween party, and he would walk around and he would say, "Excuse me," at 2 years old. He was telling people, "Excuse me, I need to get through." And they just thought that was so amazing, like, wow, he's so polite. Well, that probably doesn't come from me, although I encourage it. It definitely comes from my wife.
Point. Number 25. Filipinas are very polite and extremely well-mannered. Look, I'm
Yes.
biased, but let me tell you about my lady. She is so very, very polite and well-mannered to everyone she meets.
Yes,
I absolutely love that about her.
absolutely.
It's like a beautiful story unfolding.
Respected.
You see, I was raised at a time where simple things like saying please and thank you really mattered. Number 26. Filipinas are very feminine. You know
Yes.
how in many circles, femininity and modest are seriously frowned upon these days? Well, Filipinas actually embrace their femininity with open arms. Hold the taxi door open for them or help them get seated at a restaurant and they'll seriously adore you for it. I remember holding a door open for a woman at the shopping center when I lived in England only to have her yell at me, "I can
What?
open my own effing doors."
Wow.
Do that here and you'll get a happy smile and an immediate thank you.
Wow.
Number 27. Many Filipinas are highly educated.
Yes.
I have Filipina and Filipino friends who are medical specialists,
Yes.
surgeons, physiotherapists, and real estate investors.
Absolutely.
Education is seriously prized in the Philippines. For example, my future stepson is only 12 and he already speaks 3 languages and is
Yes.
about to start learning a 4th. Number 28. Filipinas are strong. Stronger than you can possibly imagine. Please don't let their small size or gentle persona fool you into thinking they are meek and mild pushovers.
Yes, my wife don't even like asking for help, even though I insist to help.
Filipinas are the strongest women on earth. Like their Chinese sisters, they can and do handle just about everything life throws at them with grace, dignity, poise, grit, and determination. Number 29. Filipinas are passionately loyal. They won't kick you to the curb if you become unwell. If anything, that's when you'll see their dogged determination kick in.
Heck yes.
Number 30. Filipinas aren't afraid of hard work.
Nope.
Whatever
Not at all.
life throws in their way, they take responsibility for it. For example, being the sole breadwinner of her family or helping her siblings go through school or college.
Right.
They always put their family first before themselves.
Yes.
Number 31. Filipinas are great homemakers.
Absolutely.
This is one of the number 1 reasons why you should marry a Filipino woman. They take great pride in just being your wife. The biggest desire of a Filipino woman is to make her home a warm and safe place for her family. They adore their children and take their role as a wife and mother to the next level. Number 32. Most Filipinas don't care about race. I know lots of black guys happily married to Filipinas.
Race
At the
shouldn't
risk
matter.
of repeating myself, Filipinas want a guy who accepts, loves, respects, and is faithful to them. Number 33. Most Filipinas aren't greedy and demanding. The most important thing a Filipina wants to see is that you're serious with her. Once you've proven you're serious, she'll treat you with such love and respect you'll feel totally amazed.
Absolutely
Number
good tips.
34.
Good
You'll
tips.
experience love on a scale that you never thought possible. Once you find the right Filipina, someone that truly loves you, you'll experience love in a way that you've never even dreamed of in your entire life. If you'd like to meet the right Filipina, please see the link in the description below this video to a Filipina.
I don't need a Filipina dating site because I already have my Filipina. I thoroughly enjoyed this video. Lots of tips. I agreed with 99.9% of it. Maybe one I didn't, but my wife's not a hugger. She'll hug, we hug. She don't need a hug. We do hug a lot, but it ain't like an every hour thing like the video was suggesting. Hopefully you took what I had to say and some of my experiences to heart. If you're looking, if you just started dating somebody, definitely communication, being loyal, definitely you gotta listen, you gotta give, you know, they gotta give. And you can make it, you know, if you truly love the person, you just gotta realize there's gonna be bumps in the road, but you can get past the bumps if you truly love each other, truly care, and truly want it. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the reaction. I'll see you next time. We're almost to 100,000 subscribers, so if you liked it, you enjoyed it, you like my videos, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to that magical 6-digit number, and I'll see you, all of you, next time. Peace.